I'm live again. All right. Is this working? Cody Hill, what's up, dude? Okay, so it is working. I had me on. What's up, Mario? How are you? Yeah, I'm back, baby. How you doing, man? They took me off band finally. What's up, baby? How you doing? Jared, what up, dude? Turn off my music. What's up, Frank? How are you? What's up, Larry? How you doing, man? Larry, I heard you lost some weight, bro. What's going on? How you doing? I'm chilling, man. I finally got off Facebook ban or whatever. So come back to cause more trouble. You know, they had me banned for a while. I'm not really sure what I did or anything like that, but you know, so I can start talking about stuff again. It was weird. They had me banned, and then they had me on Facebook ban, like live ban. I couldn't go live for like the past like 3 weeks, and I don't know why. So I guess finally they like fixed it or whatever they said the problem was. What up, Murdoch? How are you, man? Murdoch, you want to get in here? What's up, Ryan? I don't really like have a topic. I'm just like I'm back, so like that's I guess supposedly good or something like that, you know. Oh man, so who here knows about the Epstein thing? This is a problem to me. I've been researching the shit out of the Jeffrey Epstein thing. This is crazy. It's like the biggest news of all time, or maybe not of all time, but it's up there, you know. Murdoch, you want to get in here, man? Yes, no. Anybody there? Talk to me. I don't have anybody like coming in specifically or anything, so you know if anybody wants to talk, jump in. Yeah, I could post shit, but for some reason I wasn't allowed to do any live chats for like the last like 3 weeks. They finally fixed it though. Apparently, I was talking to Ball before. We don't have to debate, bro. We can just chat about bullshit if you want. You know, I don't always debate. Just here on occasion or whatever. You know. We could discuss the animal thing if you want. That humans. Bill, what's up, dude? You want to hop in? Hop in. Speak to us. I'm not really good at that. Like I don't know how to just like talk into a camera. I feel kind of weird doing that. It's not really my thing. You know, I'm like more of a conversationalist. You know, not chilling, man. They got me off ban apparently. So I figured, hey, let me hop on and make my presence known once again because it's been a few months really since I really did this. I did one the other week, but like no one really could see it. So you know, if you want to jump in or James or whomever, you know, we could do this. I'm just here, so trying to get my life back together, you know. So has anybody researched the Epstein thing at all? Like, this is like the craziest news of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's just like some eyes wide shut shit to the news. Exactly. Here we go. Yeah, baby. I'm back. At least for now, until they ban me again. I'm not even sure why they banned me last time. Like I couldn't find what it was that they banned me for. I was like, wait, what? And like I said, it was probably like a meme that I posted like from Facebook. So it's like, how did this end up on? How are you banning me? You know? What's up, Laura? How you doing? It's like the weirdest thing. Laura, you want to get in here? Bill, you want to get in here? I feel weird talking to the camera. Like, talk to me, ask me stuff or something. I'm not like people who just go. It's kind of weird for me. I'll tell you jokes if you want. I have lots and lots of jokes. You know? Give me some subjects. No one's talking to me. You know? They're just looking at my stupid face. Don't care about people or kids that aren't my people. Oh, no? You want to talk about the people that you do care about? We can do that if you want. You know? Do you consider me one of your people, Murdoch? Am I one of the people? Okay, Bill's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, Derek Bro's Epstein documentary is fucking great, actually. Yeah, I watched it a couple of times. He's been hitting them hard. When did I start doing? I did a couple of practice stand-ups a while ago. I've done like total. I just. What's up, Bill? Look at that beard. Look at that beard. Oh man, it's like the sun in the sky.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. The headphones are down. Let me see if that helps.
I might have me too. I need to get headphones.
I saw that. That's super epic, man.
I'm getting some headphones too. In the meantime, check out my lady.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's got the reception.
It's got the reception.
Hey, Bill, do you have headphones, man?
Hey, Bill, do you have headphones, man?
Yeah, I'm getting them right now.
Okay, you do me.
Okay, you do.
I think you have to start with that
You have to start with the phone.
Wait, hold on.
This is actually crazy.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's echoing like crazy right now. What's up, Paul?
It's
Can you
still
hear me?
echoing, even though the headphone?
No, I think I'm good. I think we're good.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you were prepared. You had the fucking headphones right in the pocket out of the side. Oh, good for you,
All
man.
right, my man.
That's a man's man right there. What's up, baby? How are you? Nice
No,
to
I
see
have
you.
my wife's sitting right here.
Oh, okay.
And
So
good
then,
to
well,
see you, man. I'm out here with my ladies. They're see all my
teaching the
chickens.
chickens and the dogs. How many dogs do you own?
Where's Bob Tuscan at? How many dogs? 6.
Yeah, you got 6 dogs. Oh shit, I don't have any
6
dogs.
dogs.
I don't have any pets. Not right now, at least.
Here's my beautiful front yard this evening.
Oh wow, that's incredible. You're in Washington, you said, right?
Yep. Just
Very
north of
nice.
Seattle. There's Mr. Pinstripes. That's it. That's his name. Yep.
Yeah, it's coming
So
through a
how
little
you doing,
choppy,
man?
but yeah.
You need to come out here. You're welcome anytime,
Interesting.
dude.
I might have to.
Maybe
So,
I'll see.
you mind if I ask you, have you been up on this?
Hold on. Let me go see if I got a better signal in my barn
Yeah,
here.
sure. I'm like, well, I've been all over the researching the Jeffrey Epstein thing like crazy. Like this guy's got like, it looks like he's got like crop circles on his fucking island and shit, like Egyptian temples. It's like crazy,
Who?
you know? Like it's literally just like dripping in mystery. Like what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do
What's up,
I
Logan? How are
sound
you?
now?
Much better. Yeah, I hear you fine actually. Headphones going on, so there's no echo or anything anymore. I just had problems with this in the first place. But yeah, dude, I watched your Wizard Factory episode. You fucking killed that shit, bro. Like you're like a bearded prophet or something going on. Man, that shit just flowed out of you. It was fantastic watching that. You know, did you ever hear the famous? Did you ever hear the famous quote from Alexander the Great to Diogenes the philosopher? How he basically said, if I wasn't Alexander the Great, I'd want to be Diogenes. Well, if I wasn't Padini, I would want to be Bill Church. That's not to compare myself to Alexander the Great, but that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. I was just trying to be as arrogant as possible, but.
Well, it's an interesting thing, man. I'm glad that you liked it. I think that we covered a lot of great topics on that show, especially. Hold on, I got a dog that's wrapped herself up here. Especially about like the flow, getting in the flow, being a creator, feeling that creative process, and in doing so, you are essentially a flower or a flower, is like how I like to refer to it as. And just like flowers have different times that they bloom. It's the same thing with the human mind, is that we're all going to come to this understanding, not at the same time, and thank God for that, you know, but it's also, we need to be patient with each other and know that, you know, there's certain topics that absolutely need to be at the forefront, and then there's other topics that do take a trial and error type of aspect, and knowing thyself. And that's the most important aspect of this journey, is to know thyself, right?
Absolutely. That's why I kind of put stuff like flat earth to the back. It's kind of like, you know, I can't really tell you for certain whether it is or it isn't. I lean towards thinking it's round, but it's not really a concern of mine. You know, like I'm more interested in trying to get everyone free so we can even think about these things and actually get answers, you know? And that's the whole idea of know thyself, because you have to know yourself before you can really know anything else, of value at least.
Yeah, and truly know yourself, and to, you know, I think that also, and it goes into creating aspect and being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. And I like it when people are vulnerable, even if you know you suck.
Yeah.
You know, you still try,
Right.
and that's what's good about having a network of people that's encouraging and understands, you know, that the power of vulnerability, but also understands the precipice that vulnerability sits, where it can lead to learned helplessness as well if it's not handled correctly. And I think that coming to this information sometimes can be overwhelming for people. And when I say information, I mean like overall truth, occulted knowledge. esoteric teachings, all that stuff. It seems like it's a pretty broad spectrum,
Right.
and it can be overwhelming, and some people take it
It actually almost
intuitively.
it actually almost goes against everything that you're taught growing up. So it's just like, wait a minute, they got everything backwards. It's like, totally, everything's backwards. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's just to
Absolutely.
stagnate you and keep you operating in the low reptile part of the brain, just concerned with like, creature comforts, like sex, drugs, rock and roll stuff. And they don't want like any, like higher thought running around, because they get assholes like me running around questioning anything. I'll be asking stupid questions, like, why does the game Uno require multiple players? Why not call it like Dos Algunos? Stuff like that, requirement to, and this is where I think this dumb shit from anyway. But that's the problem. They don't want to. Yeah, you gotta think about it for a second. It's just like weird. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're
why does the
breaking
game Uno require multiple players? I'm sorry, did you break up?
Uno.
No, sorry. Yeah. It's
Um,
kind of like how the rappers go. I say,
Sings Absurdal Simpson Bill. That's funny. Here, let me see. I have my little my movie theater. Logan was here for a visit, and we did some
I saw.
karaoke and all that stuff. I mean, it's
Oh, awesome. I'm not
yeah,
much
it's
of a singer.
lots of fun, man. I just I you will be when you come here, my man.
Oh, for sure.
I'm putting you
Absolutely.
up,
I'll do
and
it. I'm just bad
and
at
you're
it.
gonna sing. Oh man, what song should we have you sing? We need song suggestions for Justin down in the comments below. What songs would you
All
think
right,
that
fair
he
enough.
would
Mr.
be
Crowley. I
would be
always
good
like
at
that
singing?
one. Mr. Ozzy, Mr. Crowley. I always like that one.
Okay, a little Ozzy. Ozzy's
Why not?
challenging, man.
Why not? Is he? Why? Because of his voice?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, when the moon hits your eyes.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, somebody was asking me before, you in the mafia? I'm thinking it's like, why? Because I'm Italian? No, I'm not in the mafia. You think if I was in the mafia, they let me talk like this on fucking Facebook? You're fucking crazy. They would absolutely never do that. They probably put me up doing telling jokes somewhere, but nah, no sir. Um,
Yeah, that's funny.
but yeah, man, no, like I said, like you were really going in the other night on the Wizard Factory. Like I said, like just one of the things that I always try to get people to understand is what you went into greater detail than I possibly could about like the brain and how they try to keep everyone down, like operating from these like lower functioning parts of you, and they don't want you using like your imagination and stuff like that. You want to elaborate a little bit on that, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest tool that they use is money. The money is the biggest fear-based, probably social structure that we have, and I know it's a.
You're breaking up a little bit, brother.
But oh, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I say sure, sure. I mean, as long as you're in fear is what's called the mind killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's it. It's like how many aspects of this society can cause fear and division, and it takes somebody to take an observer role to really get a good idea of the
Mm-hmm.
tapestry and the vast network of influence that happens here on this world. And a lot of people, especially in the truth community, I think get hung up on one of the squares of the quilt instead of looking at the whole thing and how it all plays in together. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. What Mark Passio calls the last cul-de-sac on the way to the top, right? And so,
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of the
so
problem. I think even
I
though
don't
the
know, man.
truth community is just too
You're
fractured in general. I'm breaking up.
yeah,
I'm breaking up here.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You're breaking up really
Mi-
bad.
Oh, Jesus, that sucks. Oh, he's gone. Damn it. Bill, come back to me. Anybody else want to get in? Or maybe he'll come back or something? Or anybody there? Well, in the meantime, yeah, the reception sucks as usual because fuck life, but what are you going to do? What's up, Patty? How are you? Nice to see you. Mr. Callahan, how are you doing, man? Anybody there? You want to ask me stuff? I'm not really good at just like talking into the camera. It makes me feel weird to do that. I don't know how to do that. I feel like I'm telling people what to do, and I don't like that. Yes, no? Anyone? Murdoch, you there? Who else is here? If anybody else wants to jump in, feel free. I ain't doing shit. I'm just here kind of starting this back up. I kind of wanted to warm up the debate Christian Good again because Christian Good needs a thrashing since our last debate a few months back or whatever. And like I said, I was just kind of going through a bunch of bullshit. So I'm trying to climb out of that hole now. And I'll start doing my thing again. Where did the gold dome go? What's he talking about? Oh, here's Bill again. Okay, great. Okay, Bill's coming back. Awesome. Dial up. Yeah, right? Imagine. Charles, you're a funny motherfucker, bro. You gotta get in here next. So Bill's coming back. There he is. How are you, Mrs. Church? Nice to see you. I love the hair. Was his camera shot all of a sudden? I was like, oh, this guy. Fuck this guy. Justin Padini? Ew. Nah, it's cool.
I made her stay. No, she was. We're working on the property all day today.
That's normally the reaction I get from women anyway. It's like, oh, him, no thanks. You know, I'm used to it by now. You know. But yeah, yeah, like we were talking about, is basically you know, like I was saying, I kind of think I agree. Like you know, you like the square on the quilt is like even in like the truth communities and stuff. Like people are like still, it's too fractured and everything. Where like something I keep talking about is that whole Jeffrey Epstein situation. And like I feel like I'm one of the only people posting about this. Like this is some of the biggest news in like ever. You know what I'm saying? You basically have like the lead guy from Eyes Wide Shut in jail, and nobody's talking about it at all. It's just it's madness.
Yeah, well, people don't want to talk about it because it's so freaking gnarly.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
it's crazy. I mean, you got this guy hanging out with. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, everybody's a natural. I said it's natural for people to mirror. You know, so if you're a good person, you think that everybody's a good person, and so if you're a shyster, you think that everybody's a shyster too. And that's just it, man. Is that some people just don't think that other people are capable of this because they
can't imagine
themselves
it. Yeah.
are not.
That's the problem.
Right?
They can't even imagine it. Yeah.
Right. They can't even imagine.
I've learned that the hard way too.
And that's how they get away with this stuff,
that's
man.
The problem. It's something I like to bring up a lot. Is just about how people's imagination is limited. Like you just said, just because these people, just because you wouldn't do something doesn't mean someone that you don't know, that you've never met. That, you know, I'll give you an example. I was the best man at this guy's wedding. He's a good friend of mine and everything, and he's really like against this type of information. So maybe like 2 years ago or something, I brought up the idea, like when the Pizzagate thing broke or whatever. I just brought up the idea, like, hey, you ever consider that like Hillary Clinton might be, you know, involved in this stuff? And he looks at me like I lobbed like a shotgun, like, here, let's go. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm just asking you to consider these things. Like, I'm not even telling you it's definitely true. But, and, you know, and he got really mad at me. And it's just like, you've never met this lady. You don't know anything about her. You'll never meet her or anything like that. She's just somebody that's on TV. And you're going to like, you know, like basically like disown your, like one of your best friends just for bringing up the idea that maybe she's involved in this stuff when there's all sorts of evidence pointing to that. That's the problem. It's like the cognitive dissonance. People just don't want to admit these things to themselves.
Well, I think that once they get upset like that, that's actually a good sign that they're, I don't know, kind of wrestling awake. You know, I hope that, you know, but it's also, you know, it's something that it just speaks to the amount of the mind control that this model has over people, that they would much rather believe a figurehead than they would somebody that they know through and through, and that they're good friends with, and they know is a good person that wouldn't lie to them, and they actually know as a person. I mean, if you know some of these politicians, chances are you probably don't like them, man. They're egomaniacs. It's a perfect magnet for psychopaths, and yet people just
no,
I'm sorry, I got
absolutely.
dogs
Better dogs than politicians,
right?
Love. You know, you know. At
That's
least
right.
Dogs are loyal. Politicians
Right.
not so much. They're almost the opposite of dogs. You know, dogs are loyal. Politicians are the opposite of that every time. You know.
Yeah. Well, dogs can't really be bought like that either. I mean, they follow strength, but they follow a calm assertiveness as well, and they follow truth, man. I mean, that's it, and that's what's beauty about dogs, is that we can learn a lot from them about how the universe works. And what I see as a dog professional is a lot of times my clients are trying to argue with the laws of the universe, and they hire me for help. And a lot of times I tell them, you know, being politically correct with the dog, and a lot of these dog training methods are just politically correct methodologies that feel good, you know. And it's almost like putting a dog through a human resources department at a few, what do they call those? The 500,
Fortune
the
500
top
or
500.
something.
Yeah, Fortune 500 company. You know, like just putting a dog
Right,
with a
right.
natural being through a human resources department. It doesn't compute in that dog's brain. And then we get these gremlins and behavior that show up all over the place, and a lot of it manifests itself in the form of anxiety and self-confidence issues, all
Interesting.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
What can you give me an example of what you mean when you say you know, like the dog's behavior doesn't go in line with like natural law or something, like what they're trying to train their dogs or whatever it was you just said?
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah.
vegans making their
Don't
dogs
get me
vegans
started
is
on
one.
that.
You know, that's one of them. But just like the clicker training and stuff like that, they're trying to apply stuff that they've learned from pigeons and rats to a predator without taking into consideration
Hmm.
the act of predation on top of that predator, or the predator's act of predation upon an opportunity that arises. And these predators, and that's all
Right.
these
Much
guys
like
are
politicians. Yeah.
predators, right? And we have to,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. You know, and so we have to get our mind
Yeah.
and know how a predator thinks. And actually, that's what woke me up to a lot of these things that we see in the real world around us is how it mimics predation and you know, the models of social control and
No, that's
intimidation, all that stuff. You know, it keeps people in a fear-based mindset. And I mean, when you're afraid, you're not going to be able to contemplate. You're not going to be able to
hmm
really figure stuff out. You're going to be worrying about the next
right. The
dollar or
creature
whatever. You know, it
our
gets you into
comforts and
that.
everything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the creature comforts
Hmm.
keeps you in the comfort zone. I mean, definitely keeps you in that comfort zone that you're
Right.
not going to be rocking the boat. Um, you know, and you're going to stay out of fear. And you know, sometimes it requires being afraid. I mean, being vulnerable,
Hmm.
like I was just talking about. You know, that requires being afraid. That requires feeling the courage and do it,
Yeah.
or feeling the fear and
Stand
doing
up
it
bull,
anyway. That's
definitely. Yeah, I'm
courage.
telling you, man, that shit is no joke. You know, I've been on stage about 12 times now,
Yeah.
and I've done pretty well for the most part. I'd say 80% of the time I hit. But I swear to you, yo, the first one I ever did, it went great. But I was so nervous. The next day, I woke up and my stomach was in knots, and I actually went like, oh, like literally the next day. Like I woke up and grabbed my stomach, like, oh shit, like it was in that much of knots. That shit is crazy. But I'm gonna do it anyway. You know, like I said, I've been gearing up for a while now. I'm
Yeah.
just about to start hitting that again. I just wanted to get out of this hole I've been in. But you made a great point just now about the whole idea about how you know, like it kind of relates to politicians, how they're predators, and how people that aren't predators, you know, like they don't equate that to themselves. You know what I mean? They're like they wouldn't do that when. If you want to work in government and control other people, you have to be somewhat psychopathic to want to control other people. I understood this. I remember when I was 22 valeting, and I always wanted to just kind of like help out and everything because I saw how fucked up everything was. And even then, at 22, I was realized like, wait a minute, like I don't want to control anybody, so I can't be a politician. That's just not going to work. And I just didn't really know where to go from there. You know what I mean? So that was a great point you made. Murdoch, most people are domesticated. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like controlling people. I get my nephew's like, what do you want me to do first? I'm like, I don't care, dude.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, you figure that out. What
like I
makes the
don't
most
care. Like
sense?
we're all sovereign. We're all yeah, well, you know, and that's what we're here. I think that on this plane of
Sure.
existence, this earth, whatever you call it, in these bodies,
The
these
water
water
suits,
suits
yeah.
that we call, what you just kind of
Yeah, of
rehydrated a
course.
little bit into
It's
right
all I
there,
drink.
right? Salty meat sacks. My wife
Salty.
says
Okay, I
salty
like
meat
that. Yeah.
sacks, and but we incarnate into these meat sacks so we can experience this plane of existence and learn principles here through our perceptions. Our percepts come
Hmm.
together to form concepts, and so we get a better understanding of the principles and be able to tap into some of these principles and to gain a better life as well, you know, and that's
Yeah.
like the free energy and just look at the industrial revolution, the technological revolution,
Right.
all that stuff that we're seeing now. But you know, just like these what we call exponential organizations, so like Uber and like Airbnb and PayPal to an extent, but cryptocurrencies a little bit more, are disruptors to that current model. And and that's kind of where we're at. As the world is kind of getting shaken up, and people are trying to strategically place themselves and the powers that should not be are trying to maintain the foothold that they have and
Right.
have had for generations. But if we look at the massing of income and wealth, I mean, it's definitely tides are turning in this moment like never before, and it just, I mean, there's so many things to be thankful for in this world too. You know, in fact, we're talking on a box right now. Like I'm holding this thing that I just saw you pop up, and you're like, dude, you want to join me? And I pushed a button, and here we are, and we got 9 people joining us as well. And it's, dude, I remember we flew to Florida. I went to the dog training conference, and I mean, 100 years ago, this would have taken us half a year, and half
Yeah,
the
the
people on
Oregon
the plane
Trail
wouldn't
shit,
have
it's
made
crazy.
it,
You know, after the
right?
Industrial Revolution, everything blew up insane. That's why, like, when I bring up to people, like, we shouldn't have a government, and they get all crazy, like, well, why would you think that? It's just like, take a look around, look at what's possible. You know what I mean? Like, if you see that, like, we can have these phones, or, you know, we've achieved quantum teleportation, they've sent light photons back in time. I'm not saying they could do that to me or you or whatever, but, like, they've done these things at, like, a microscopic level. It's just like, who knows what's possible? And then, like, you mean to say that there's the only way out of all the vastness of infinity to have life go on is to have these people violently dominate us and abuse the shit out of us and take all of our money? It's like, somebody's just a weak person, and you don't want to admit that you've been fooled. You know what I mean? Because I can think of an infinite number of ways to do things better than we're doing them now, you know?
Yeah, and the ways that start with love, right? And acceptance, and, you know, just like the cops we see escalating, you know, but if I remember when I was a bartender for a very long time, I mean, I'd have problems all the time. You know how many people I shot and
Probably
killed?
none. Yeah, I had a feeling it was very few, yeah.
Yeah, none, you know. And I
How
have a
many dogs
concealed
did you,
carry,
how many
you know,
dogs did you
I can
kill,
have a
bro?
gun on me, but I
But you're
have not
surrounded
shot
by
one
them.
dog in the many times that
Yeah.
I've been bitten, and I've been bitten many times, you know, and it's just recognizing body language and the precursors that are going to
Yeah, I
happen
mean,
when a dog bite happens, and that's knowing
yeah, I
what
mean,
a
you're
predator's
like a dude.
mind
You're
does,
like a child in a
you
ball
know.
pit surrounded by dogs, and you've never shot any of them. Like, how do you manage that, dude? I mean, like, that's just I'm being highly sarcastic right now. If you can't tell, but, like, you know,
I'll
there
shoot
you
him a
go,
dirty look. I'll shoot him a dirty look, like
yeah. Oh
chill
no,
out, come
he's
on. Look at her.
asking for
She's
a bullet right there. Asking
petrified.
for a bullet.
You could tell.
You know,
She's
I mean, how vicious is that? Asking for
asking for a
it, you know?
bullet.
It's just so crazy. And what's worse is I actually came to the conclusion that the people that defend that are actually worse than the people doing it. It's just like, how could you see that and stick up for it? I really think it's even worse at this point. It's just like, are you that weak of an individual? Are you that, like, calcified an ego that you can't just be like, you know, there was just no other way to do that? Like, it just, the dog had to die, you know? He just had to. It's just like, I don't know, like, you're
The dog, you know what? He wasn't obeying the cops' commands. You know, the dog should have respected the cops' badge, and the dog could have worked it out in court.
Right.
You know, sitting up
Yeah,
on.
it's just such madness, man. It's just kind of like, that's why I kind of just made my job. I didn't really know how to, like, kind of, like, fit into this whole thing. So I just figured what I would do is just mock and ridicule the public for being stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really catch me giving a lot of people advice on how to be in the world, or what you should do this or this. I don't even really get too deep into these subjects. I just make fun of the public for being dumb. It's like, really, guys, we can't do better than this? Like, you know, like, thousands upon thousands of years of evolution, this is the best we can do? I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't either, man. And I think that people need to be held to an account, but they also need time to navigate. You know, it's been the intensity on society has been turned up in the last few generations, I think, especially with the advent of these technological and these kind of revolutions that have changed the livelihood of people. And I actually think that the automation revolution that's going to be coming around the bend here on the horizon is going to be a good thing if you know what your purpose
What do you mean
is
automation?
in this world.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about, like, could you explain?
I mean, the automatic trucks.
Okay.
I mean, look at all the jobs replaced by robotic power, AI, automation that are slated to happen in the next 10 to 15 years, and it's another pretty significant change to this world that is going to free up some man hours
Yeah.
or
Oh
woman
yeah,
hours
yeah,
too. I don't
yeah.
want to
Whoa.
misgender.
Yeah,
Or
it was kind of funny actually. You just brought that up. I just went out to eat with some of my friends, and you know that's Lynyrd Skynyrd song, "Simple Man." That's them, right? I think Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, I'm thinking like they're gonna
yeah.
gender fuck that up too. It's like "Simple Person" or something like that. I always really like. It's a good song, but
Really?
I don't really like the message. Like I like the music, but the message just wants you to remain ignorant. I don't really think that's a good example for people. You know.
Yeah. Well, just like I said, I mean, I've come to the conclusion that there's some people that are never going to come to
No,
the
lots of them,
understanding they don't want
unfortunately.
to. Well, and that's just like when you
Hmm.
watch a flock of birds, there's only a few of them that are guiding that whole flock,
Right.
right? And that's it, is that a lot of these people are going to be in a school of thought. And just like the brush fires that are ignited in the hearts and minds of men, only 3% of the people sway that population. That
Yeah.
refers to those birds too. That flock of birds, 3% of that flock. And so it's about talking to the people, but also I'm convinced that it's not just that presenting the
Hmm.
information, which is very important, but it's also building rapport and community building and family, and because that's a feminine aspect of care,
Sure.
right? And I see that um, I've received a lot of vitriolic attacks
Have
from
you?
people in the truth community, worse than I ever
Really?
did in the dog community.
That surprises
You
me.
know?
You mind
Oh
if
yeah.
I ask on what subjects or? Oh,
But my diet.
yeah, I know a bit about that one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if you want to get in there with me. I got jokes for days, but yeah,
I mean, but it's all the while I'm asking, show me your gun, show me your
right,
AR-15, show me, your
sure.
means
A lot
of
of those people that
self-defense.
complain about your diet or my diet or something like that, I noticed a lot of them cheat on their girlfriends too. Almost every one of them that I've spoken to, and they tell me I'm a terrible person. Yeah, a terrible person
Shut
for
up,
having
really?
mozzarella sticks cheats on their
Oh, really?
girlfriend, which is something I've never done. So, there's that.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also, I mean, near here or there. I mean, there's a lot of factors
Sure,
that can
sure.
go into
No,
relationships
I hear
too,
you. It's just, talk
and
about
so,
morality
but
and
it's
stuff. It's
also,
like, well, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. But no, I definitely know what you mean. I've gotten some pretty brutal attacks too,
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. But sorry, what? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just got a text message.
Oh no, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, the most, um, the people that I also speak with don't grow their own food.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I don't either. I probably
And
should.
I mean, when they grow their own food, they're going to realize that a lot of, absolutely. Oh, do I need to go? I need to run, Justin.
Oh, you gotta go. Hey, Bill, man, thanks for coming on.
Oh, he's
We'll do
frozen
it. We'll do
anyway.
it
Look
again
at him.
soon. Have a great day. Take care. Nice seeing you again. Have a great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is my first day back. So like I said, we'll set something up good and do something nice. All right. Thanks again. Later. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to wrap up now. But so I'm back, baby. Take care.